Shalom. Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakaha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach me and woo well, who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akyam, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth at risk of their own lives throughout the four corners of the earth. To the Akwath listening, learning, sincerity, and the truth in the sound, Shalom. It's your brother Shema from the GMS Toronto camp here in Toronto, here with another lesson. Right? Now we'll get right into it. The greediness of the belly. Right? The greediness of the belly. Right? Is going to cause 2/3 of our people, you 2/3, to line up and take the C hip. The Revelation 13 verse 16 on down. Right? Today we're doing a lesson this afternoon. GMS Toronto. And the Aquanium we're bringing out that the lust of the flesh, right? 2/3 of people are going to be overcome with the lust of their flesh, right? Sirach 23:4. O Lord, Father and power of my life, give me not a proud look, right? The elect, right? These are prayers we threw up. Keep us humble, Lord, but turn away from thy servants always a haughty mind, right? Haughty mean prideful, right? Full of yourself, right? And that's 2/3 of our people, right? They're full of themselves, man, right? The men of the Lord are not going to be in that proud, it's all about what I got demon, right? That demon is not going to be on the elect, right? Verse 5, turn away from me vain hopes, right? Vain meaning empty, right? And what are some of the empty hopes of this world, man? The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes. What look what I got, right? My portfolio is valued at, these are the things that they lust after, right? Their accolades in the world, right? Those are all vain hopes. Hoping for a degree, hoping to go D1, to get drafted and go pro, to become a CEO, chief of police, right? Executive director. Those are all vain hopes. Turn away from me vain hopes and concupiscence, right? And concupiscence goes into illicit desires, lusts. And thou shalt hold him up that is desirous always to serve thee, right? And whose desires to serve the Most High, Yahweh Shemashai, the elect. So what's the Lord going to do? The Lord's going to hold up his elect, keep them sound, right? Scripture say, wisdom and knowledge shall be the civility of thy times. The strength of salvation, thy treasure, right? The times that are coming, the time of Jacob's trouble, all hell breaking loose, order abkael, chaos, to usher in the new world order, the Revelation 13 verse 16 on down, the grain of rice, right? If you're bound, if you're a servant to your lusts and your desires, your vain hopes in the world, right? You're going to take the C hip, man, in order to hang on or to continue to progress and forward in Esau's matrix, the cares of this world, the cares of this life, my career, my job, my degree, my status, my property, what I own, what I have, right? Scriptures say the fashion of this world shall pass away, right? This is all going to go up in smoke, man. Verse 6, let not the greediness of the belly nor lust of the flesh take hold of me, right? Because it's a demon, man. The greediness of the belly and the lust of the flesh, that's a demon, right? And it will take hold of you if you're For one, if you're not ordained of the Most High Yahweh Shema Shai from the foundation of the earth. But two, if you're not locked into the spirit, man, right? If you're of the world, if you're of the flesh, right? And 2/3 of the people, they're of the flesh, they're of the world, right? They're natural men, which is what brute beasts, right? They've learned the way of the Greco-Roman world, and that's what they lust after. That's what they pursue. That's what they chase. And give not over me thy servant into an impudent mind. Right? Let's look at this word impudent. Give not me thy servant up to an impudent mind. Impudent. Late 14th century. This is the online etymology. From Latin, impudentum, without shame, shameless, from assimilated form, or in not opposite of, ashamed, modest, present participle, adjective from pudere, to cause shame, right? Shameless, man, right? You're going to commit, listen, 2/3 of people commit shameless acts day in and day out. The women of our nation, forget about it, man. They're all over social media naked. That's a shameless act. Right? You got 2/3 Jakes deleting one another over the bag. That's a shameless act. Right? Shameless. You're shameless. You don't care that you're sinning. Right? But the greediness of the belly and the lust of the flesh, that's going to be this is what Esau is going to play on, right? To get people, you 2/3, to align with the beast. Proverbs 23:1. When thou sittest to eat with a ruler, right? And who's in rulership right now? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, these ruling class elites, the banking cartels, the banking families, they're in rulership. Consider diligently what is before thee, right? You're going to sit down at the table and eat with Esau. Consider what he's setting before you, right? And what is Esau going to set before you on this table? The sea hip, the grain of rice, right? Transhumanism, right? He's going to sell it as a better way to do things. Convenience. Right? Back in the day when I was a kid, I remember my mother, she used to always set the table. You know, Benjamite. She'd spread the table, put a tablecloth on it, put out her best plates, her best her crystal, her cups, her forks, silver forks, right? Anytime she's going to entertain, that's what she would do, right? Esau is preparing the table and prettying it up, right? And presenting you with a meal, the meal being the sea hip, right? In the guise of convenience. Verse 2, and put a knife to thy throat, if thou be a man given to appetite, right? So if you're, the greediness of the belly, right? It says here, put a knife to thy throat, if thou be a man given to appetite, right? If you greedy, right? You lust for the world, the cares of this life, put a knife to your throat. It reads, be not desirous of his dainties, right? You can go to this word dainties. It's meats, savory. Let's get it. Proverbs 23. Dainties. Be not desirous of his dainties. Strong's H4303. Matam. Tasty or savory food. Delectable food. Dainties. Right? And this man is going to present it. This man is going to present his new world order as a savory, delectable food. And the whole world is going to fall for it. Right? Salakia. Right? Salakia. So 2/3 of our people, right? They're gonna fall for Esau's delicacies, his savory meat, right? 2/3 of the people, right? They they're desirous, right, of this savory meat, right? Which is Esau's Greco-Roman world, his wine, his philosophy, right? 2/3 of the people are drunk with it, man, right? 2/3 of the people, they're bloated from excess of meats, right? Bloated and ready to pass out, sleep after gorging themselves on Esau's dainty meats, his savory meats, right? Savory to 2/3 of our people, right? It's really poison, right? They're bloated because they've gorged themselves. They're ready to vomit, right? And to continue gorging themselves, they're what? They're going to line up in these chipping stations, right? To get sea-hipped, so they can continue to live the Greco-Roman evil temporal world lifestyle, man. Right? But the fashion of this world shall pass away. Right? Scriptures say, they shall weary themselves for very vanity. Habakkuk 2. Habakkuk 2, verse 13. I want to read this in the NLT. Habakkuk 2 and 13 in the NLT. Habakkuk 2 and 13 NLT. Has not the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshai, of heaven's armies promised that the wealth of nations will turn to ashes? They work so hard, but all in vain, right? Habakkuk 2 and 13 KJV. Behold, is it not of the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshai of hosts, that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity, right? So it's all about vanity, man, right? 2/3 of our people, these heathen nations, it's all about getting the bag, right? For vanity, vain being empty, right? Trinkets, right? Physical belongings, property, degrees, wealth, bricks and mortar, right? It's all vanity, right? It's all going to be turned to ashes, right? So with that, call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakaha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect.